Very good afternoon and welcome to another session of if you are seeing this on YouTube, you can follow me on my free Telegram channel. The free Telegram channel's link is given below. If you so YouTube, Telegram, YouTube, introduction done. And now time to dive into the markets. The last time I was here in a free live session with all of you, it has been quite some time. And going forward, we are going to talk about the markets now. Okay. Most of you know about me. This is myself, an expert in technical analysis. Have done a lot of formal education through the CFA Institute and the Chart and Market Technician course. I've also been a visiting faculty in some of the top colleges in India and have been trading for the last 9.5 years and teaching for the last 4.5 years now. Right. So welcome once again to especially the new faces. Thank you for taking out your precious time. And now I'm about to share my screen. And I hope it was not much of a hassle for you to come to a webinar and all happened smoothly. There's a button out there to raise your hand so that we can interact amongst each other. And also, there is going to be question answers. So whenever you have some question you ask, I would prefer conceptual questions rather than stock specific questions. And yes, going forward, we're going to have a lot of fun. So let's begin. This is me sharing my screen. And right here in front of you, you have the daily chart of Nifty. So what is the daily chart of Nifty looking like today? So slowly and steadily, I'll go piece by piece zoom in. I've removed most of the lines etc. from my chart, but still due to my regular analysis there will be some lines. I've removed the indicators. I've just got the simple chart right in front of me. And now for us to explore what has been happening over the broader indexes and what are the stock specifics, and also because it has been quite a request and a very legible request that I should be talking about some of the stocks which have been speaking as a trading idea and why those stocks are doing what they're doing. The successful ones, the ones which have worked out, most of them have worked out. The ones which have worked out towards their entire full target prices, how those moves were actually deciphered, through what concepts they were deciphered. This is going to be the conversation now. And as you can see in front of you, there's a very neat and clean hourly chart. If I press D, this is the daily chart. This is the weekly chart. Okay. Now, one very important point to notice, and this is how the subtleties of technical analysis actually help us very much. The small cues and the small clues which you get from technical analysis is basically the entire mechanism of how to act like a detective in front of when stronger hands are trying to overwhelm. Okay, so there's a basic logic behind technical analysis that the market at any given point in time is behaving in extremes, behaving irrationally. Under fundamental analysis, a lot of people ask me this question, and it is by now, if anybody has gone through even some of my YouTube videos and the basic videos, okay, if you just go to my YouTube channel and go through all the past videos also, by now people should be very clear in their head about what my prerogative with technical analysis is. Now, first thing I'm going to clarify is no more old examples which I've given thousands of times. First thing which I'm going to clarify for it is that when it comes to fundamental analysis, where does fundamental analysis come from? Where does the concept of fundamental analysis, finding value, finding expected returns, designing portfolios, where does that entire analysis come from? That comes from the theories like the CAPM model, the Markowitz theory. Those theories have the very basic idea as an assumption. What is that assumption? The assumption is that the market participants are behaving rationally. The market participants are behaving rationally. Meaning, if there's a company stock which is trading at 500 rupees, even though all its growth prospects put together, it could be 5,000 rupees, then people would act rationally and it will no time would be in 5,000 rupees. And the aspect of technical analysis is talking about when there's a trend, people are insinuated by the feelings of fear and greed. They are acting irrationally. Market sometimes goes higher than it's supposed to go, lower than it's supposed to go, and basically there is no rationality present in the larger tides of movement. All the movements which we capture, decipher, understand, and capitalize on, all these movements are basically entirely based on one thing. It is mass mentality, right here in front of you on the charts. And it requires a different kind of skill, a combination of both cognitive and logical skills as well as emotional intelligence for you to trade. I must tell you all, and this I take 1 minute extra for telling you all, that a lot of people, okay, interact with me on daily basis. A lot of phone calls come. I see that there is always this hurriedness to come into some sort of a full pace. I want to make money today. I want to make money today. I want to start making money today. Give me a shortcut, etc. Believe me, that does not work in the market. What really works is developing an emotional intelligence. If you are in a certain job, if you are in a particular business, do you think you're going to ever be going to be successful if you're not emotionally intelligent? I heard this from the author named Robin Sharma. If you've heard of him, I'm sure you must have heard of him. He's one of the legendary authors of our times right now. And he said that according to his research, according to some research which has studied on, the top players in business, the most productive people in all the different business sectors, they are not the people with the highest amount of capital, not the people with the blue blood backgrounds, not the people with the talents and gifts, but the quality that sets them aside is emotional intelligence. And even though in trading, we are not interacting with people, right? It's all in front of you in the computer. But there is a high level of emotional intelligence, which is not, which is even beyond what is required in the world normally. That is what you need if you really want to make money in markets. On that note, the last time I was here on a free session, you can go and check up in the YouTube channel. I had spoken about the day of the market where, one second, yeah, where we saw movements like this happen. This was the day I was here, right? On the 22nd of April, you can check out the video. I spoke about a lot of aspects of how intraday traders think, how positional traders think. What are the factors of technical analysis that come together? And keeping it very simple, what are those factors that come together for us to understand how we perceive a move and how to see in the multiple time frames? So when you see, for example, this, that there are successive highs made in the market, at the same time, while the successive highs are made, okay, there is the tendency for the momentum indicator in front of us. Which is the momentum indicator in front of us? One second. This is the RSI momentum indicator. Now, if you don't know anything about momentum indicator, if you don't know anything about how to go about understanding these things which are technical, you are free to join my 15-session course, which is a very detailed course. And some of my old students are here also. You see the level of successive highs and the level of divergences, which is indicating us the speed of the price is coming down. The price is in the upward direction, but the speed is going down. So imagine that a car is going up on a hill. It is going at a certain speed. As the hill gets steeper, it will not just topple like that. It will first become slower and then it will go down or go back. So this is the logic which was playing out on the daily charts. While on the hourly chart, what was happening was this. And again, we'll take this one indicator up and we go in full details with so many things in our entire course. That if I look at the 15-minute chart, if I look at the 15-minute chart on this day, on the 22nd of April, I know this magically astounding phenomena which happens. That is the level of 60 area. And this is just one of the different levels we understand in our course. But this 60 area was something which was very, very potent and showing us how the RSI is behaving when there is a pullback and the price touches at 60 and then goes down. Now, I saw the same phenomena happen in this week in a stock called Bata. Actually, it happened on last Friday, but the trade triggers were also on Mondays. It was shown on Telegram. So this is the stock Bata and this is the hourly chart. A lot of messages come to me. How did you find this trade, sir, etc. First of all, I'll tell you, yes, definitely we do a lot of hard work and it's years of practice and clarity. Also, in as far as the Telegram channel is concerned, there are limitations of what I can post on Telegram, right? There's sometimes trades happening so fast that I just get the time to take a trade rather than posting it. And also, yes, we as a team together have to track and monitor. So the team behind me, which is their technically sorted team. So that is something which we focus on to give the most quality kind of things, quality kind of ideas, right? So this is the hourly chart of Bata again. Now look at the similar thing which is going on. There are multiple divergences. It's been a very strong trend undoubtedly, but there are multiple divergences as the price goes ahead. So the price is going making higher highs and the multiple divergences in this case. Again showing us that the speed of price is coming down. But exactly this is not enough. This aspect is not enough. That okay, speed of prices are coming down, so it must be something interesting. No, not like that. What really matters to us, okay, what really matters to us in the true sense is that there should be physical confirmations from the price angle. So I'm putting the 15-minute chart right now. Okay, the 15-minute chart of Bata, and you see the day I'm showing you a particular candle over here, this red candle. There could be many arguments that okay, there's a support right underneath, etc. There was a trend line breakout which has happened, and this is a perfect trend line. It follows all the rules of a trend line. Okay, the rules of a trend line are followed in this case. It has broken the trend line ferociously. Now, before the trend line break happened, if I don't consider trend line or the support line as it is drawn, if I consider the same phenomena, look at what this line is. This is exactly the 60 area. So just move this a little bit. This is exactly the 60 area. The 60 zone is again the last high of the pullback. So you see this pullback, you see the 60 zone, and you see the price going back down. Now this is trying to show me some sort of a confirmation of a downward trend. Okay, I like to talk about these things, but one thing I would advise, whatever I'm saying is only a part of the entire study behind the concept. There are many other facets to the concept. As some of you are my old students over here who have done the course with me, they know about it. But for the new ones, they must understand that this is one market phase. When we are talking in this video, we are narrowing our knowledge into one market phase so as to see what is the best part of our knowledge showing in the best way, right? And then from here, the breakout happened. Also, if I put the hourly chart, I see that there is something we call a double top pattern. And this is mixed with a trend line breakout. So both the things are happening, that on one time frame there's a trend line breakout, on this time frame there is the breakout over here. Now again, if you want to trade something from the intraday perspective to get the full picture and not just trade on the basis where you take a very big stop loss, no problem. There were students and there were many people who were following me on Telegram who went short on intraday basis, especially the students who know that if you have a daily chart bias, you can capitalize on intraday. And at this area were wonderful areas to go short when it broke the morning low. Now, what is the logic behind it? In the morning low, obviously, there are a lot of strong hands that are trying to protect the price. And when this consolidation and resting happens, which is and the dominant trend is down. If we look at the pieces of puzzle together, the dominant trend is down. There is buyers trying to protect an area, and after some consolidation, in this consolidation, there is a fight between the bulls and bears. And I'm not getting too technical. I'm trying to give you the logic of the technicals. And yes, there are ways, there are candlesticks, there are evidences. That's all fine. But the point is, the logic is that these strong buyers standing over here, there are a lot of buy orders standing over here. There are a lot of buy orders standing over here, absolutely at the low over here. So when these buy orders are being taken out at once, there needs to be a very powerful move that can take it out. And given what we are seeing on the 15-minute chart, given what we are seeing on the daily chart, when the daily, hourly, 15-minute all are aligning, we are seeing bombastic move happen. We are seeing bombastic move happen. This was the logic behind the recent trade I showed on Bata. Now, what other trades were there on my radar? Some of them I could not show. One of them was M&M Finance, which I personally took. But I personally considered the trade, but this was not one of the trades I was posting on Telegram, right? Now this is the 60-minute chart of Bata. This is the daily chart of M&M Finance, and this is the 60-minute chart of M&M Finance. Now yesterday, what I was noticing over here was something which was very, very powerful, right? I see that there are two highs which are made, and these two highs which are made on a certain basis. What is the basis of these two highs? I'll just tell you. The basis of these two highs is that they are acting like a resistance for a previous support. So this was a previous support area, right? This was a previous support area. And when this support area, that means, again, let's go by the same logic, but we go in the bigger time frame. We think differently here. The logic is the same, the time frame is different. When I see the price is coming and stopping over here, coming and stopping over here, coming and stopping over here, I know that this area is very, very strong. This area is an area where a lot of strong buyers are standing, a lot of buy orders. And when this price is cutting like a knife cutting through a banana, when this price is cutting over here, as if this knife is cutting a banana, that smoothly, I know who are strong now. Okay, I want answers this time. Who are standing strong now? Once this area is taken out, who is strong now? Buyers are strong or sellers are strong? Answers, please. Now, are the buyers strong or the sellers are strong? Right. The sellers are strong. Right. I'm getting a lot of answers. Sellers are strong. But the thing is, this is the problem. The problem is that the tendency of understanding something in the markets which is simplistic is very easy. But what happens is, with the complex nature of the markets, where you are literally having an intellectual war with some of the smartest people in the world, getting hurriedly into a trade does not really work out. So somebody who is trading intraday, and if the person is tracking this stock diligently, the trade trigger which happened yesterday was happening through a multiple number of concepts, and those multiple number of concepts actually led us to kind of going into getting that trade. I'm going to open the 15-minute chart now, getting that trade at a much better level. Now there's something called Elliott wave theory, okay, and there are certain assumptions around the Elliott wave theory. It's not a very straightforward analysis, but I'll give you a few glimpses of that if I start from this point, that this my assumption is that a corrective wave is over. Now Elliott wave theory talks about waves. There are different genres of concept in technical analysis. Even in my course, I go through the 15 session with different concepts. Now, Elliott wave theory comes into a different genre. Here, we are not talking about the fact that markets are, moving in squares and boxes. Here, we are talking about the markets moving in waves. The Elliott wave theory patterns are also different than regular trading patterns. Okay. So let me just take up one assumption that this point is a point where a wave B is got over, a wave C is got over. This point is a point where a corrective wave is got over. Okay. And over here, if I say if this is a corrective wave because the dominant trend is down, keeping it very simple, not getting into other time frames, whatever I'm seeing as an up move, if that is corrective, what is the broader trend? The broader trend is down. So if this is corrective, it could be because it hasn't made a new high. Okay. It could be because it hasn't made a new high. And this is the broader trend colored in blue. The broader trend is down. Now, if the broader trend is down, it should not be exactly like this. There should be some sort of a different implication. Meaning to say that this second yellow line is actually a subwave. And all these are basically subwaves within a one larger wave. What is the larger wave? The larger wave is coming from here and going till here and wherever it is going to. Basically coming from this top and going down. And all these are the sub-broken parts of those waves. And if we understand that these waves are also showing me the physical nature of the market compressing together, one of the things which I put over here, and when I use it very carefully. I use it very nicely and creatively in the Bollinger Band indicator. So, like any other indicator, I always encourage, try and get out the best of every indicator. First, train yourself properly. If any one of you is interested in joining the training, you can just put in your number in this question box. My team will get back to you. Now, understand the nature of the market being that if we invite multiple levels of analysis, it helps us. So on the 15-minute chart, I see a Bollinger Band squeeze. Okay. On the daily chart, I put Bollinger Band. And what have I seen in the recent past? I have seen the price close below the lower band. Now, I'm not giving any hard and fast kind of rules over here, but obviously, if there's a close below a lower band, it obviously means that there is impending bearishness. That is why the price had closed below the lower band, right? Which is happening over here. And from there, I see that there is a tight consolidation which is zeroing in the 15-minute chart, where the Bollinger Bands are actually contracting. A physical support area which is again created over here while the contraction is happening. I already noticed this, so it gives an extra edge to get the trade a little early. Okay, sometimes indicators can help you in getting trade early, but then you have to do it properly, right? And then the move which is starting somewhere around estimate of 394 area is gone and given the move. Right now it's to 380, from 394 to 380, and the low was even lower. So this was again one of the trades I was looking at. Today was one of the very interesting trades I saw, and then we'll go back to Bank Nifty and Nifty, which was one on Century, which I had not posted about now, and the other was on this thing. So Century I did not post because it was a very small trade in intraday, and all my students over here and anybody who has seen my YouTube channel, also I very often talk about the lower wicks of the candle, and we saw 3 consecutive hammer patterns over here, which was very powerful. So although I was against the dominant trend, and that hence I did not take an initiative to send it as an idea, but the trade over here pulled off very well. So conceptually working out perfectly. Today one of the trades I spoke about was Ambuja Cement. Ambuja. Now Ambuja Cement, okay, I do not mean to bore all of you, but again the similar aspects of Elliott wave theory were applicable. So in the morning, if you look at the 15-minute chart, in the morning when I was talking about the trade was around in this wick area. It was in this wick area. What was the fact that gave me a confidence to go short over here? What was the fact? So first of all, we understand that over here uh, on the hourly chart, there is a descending triangle pattern. Now, descending triangle pattern is not picture perfect over here because never so easily are patterns so picture perfect in any case. Okay. So you need to take them with a pinch of salt, number one. Number two, you need to know the properties of pattern. So here the descending triangle properties were matching up, and the breakout, although clearly happened today, but a certain confirmation of the fact that this is likely to go down came yesterday itself. So when this entire descending triangle pattern is breaking out, a small pullback, little bit into the range, was an ideal level to short. And the moment the short was spoken about, you must have noticed is the 15-minute chart. It was around here in this area, and bang, 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 it's been down since then. Now, this is one of the things, and there are multiple things. As I always say, there are going to be multiple things which will be a part of our analysis. Yesterday, I was talking about Nifty, particularly the. If I just remove these lines, 1 second again. Yeah. Particularly this blue line, I have spoken about this again and again in the previous session also. This has been a very strong support area. Earlier this was a resistance area which has again turned into a support area, and when we get trades like this, these are like a 5-on-5 trade, 5-star trade, 5-star trade. Now obviously there were many ways and many interesting variables which are playing in the trade. It is never so straightforward and easy. We have to admit that, just by support and resistances. But just by the ideal times when supports and resistances are playing their part, we can know so much and get verified so much about how really technical analysis can be extremely gifting. Now, what I'm going to talk about today is when it comes to these news about the trade war between US and China. When it comes to news, and it will come in soon, coming future also, about the elections in India. When these kind of news are in the air, what are the key aspects people tend to forget when they are trading? And I've noticed this again and again. First of all, let's keep aside technical analysis and fundamental analysis. So according to technical analysis, just as I said a few minutes back, that I have spoken again and again about the lower wicks, and now this time I'm going to talk about the higher wick. So when there's a higher wick, on a particular candle, it is trying to show me that the higher levels are being rejected. The higher levels are being rejected. And which area is this happening in? Which area is this happening in? This is happening in the area of this strong fall. This is the area which this is happening in. So if this is happening in this area, and within the pullback we see candles like these, we already have very strong evidences of what is possible in the market. That night, even though the US markets were doing very well, smoothly, completely fine, even though that was going on, in India, the markets did not fall. The Indian markets did not fall. You're getting my point, what I'm trying to say. The Indian markets did not fall. And Indian markets fell. The Indian markets fell significantly 2 days later, along with the world markets. So it was waiting for those news trigger as a catalyst. And even if there were no news triggers, many times we have seen the market falls. Okay. Yesterday I had mentioned again, this area has been broken. Further falls are being seen right now as we speak. Although there's no fresh entry point as such, but right now as we speak, there have been further falls. Maybe some intraday scalpers could have capitalized on these falls. Same thing for Bank Nifty. Now Bank Nifty again cutting like a banana, the knife cutting through like a banana, and as significant falls, the Bank Nifty is 1% down already. Now, when you are seeing patterns which are having significant targets, and mind you, this entire pattern all put together has significant targets. We are, in my sense and analysis, as I mentioned yesterday on Telegram, we are likely to go to 325 zone or something less than that also is possible. Depends on how the market unfolds. But there is significant bearishness out there in the market. And if you are not on the short side right now, you need to question on the basis of your trading, because when you're trading, you're on leverage. You need the entry points, you need the confidence, you need the strategies which do not show you too much of extrusion on the trade before it works in your favor. How many of you are with me in what I'm trying to say? How many of you are understanding what I'm trying to say? Show me a raise of hands. Show me a raise of hands, what I'm trying to say. Thank you. Wow. Wow. If you have any questions, okay, if you have any questions, I'm not busy in kind of any trading. If you have any genuinely conceptual questions, feel free to ask. Okay. Okay. So somebody is asking about the stock Biocon. Okay. Now the stock Biocon, although one of the students is asking, so in the course, since you are in the current match, I had spoken about the particular support area breaking on Biocon very strongly. So that really holds on, and just like in case of Nifty, there is a extension of this thing. Okay, so Mr. Karthikeya, you're asking about the training program, details about the training program. So what you can do, it's a 15 session course. I'll tell you in a nutshell. It's a 15 session course. You just drop your number over here. With the formal details, my team will get back to you. In this 15 session course, we start with the basics. The basic idea of technical analysis, building on the simpler topics first and then getting more advanced and advanced in the topics. The sessions will be held on Saturday and Sunday, just like this on webinar. They are webinar based, and there will be my presentation, my chart reading software, exactly like this, and we'll go concept by concept exploring. There will be also, apart from the concepts which are there, which will be there in the particular course, the psychology of trading will be also a certain focus, because I personally believe it is very important for us to have the correct mentality, correct mindset, and all that has worked with the past students, the kind of assignments, homeworks that we all talk about, decide and give, all that is also going to be a part of the course. Once you have finished this 15 session course, you all will be put in a particular WhatsApp group with all the old students, where you can discuss doubts, questions, have any kind of conversations with me. And every month, all the past students, we have a meeting together. And again, we discuss something new, dig deeper into one topic, talk about recent markets, and many times also, take up new things. It's a 12,500 rupees, the particular course fee. Very good question. Shubham is saying, and I like to be open to questions. As long as somebody is asking in a nice manner, I don't mind any question. You're really going to be looking forward to it. So first, Shubham says, sir, my question is this course enough, or don't get offended, but others try, say you have now advanced, you get through this much in this much money. I'm not okay, I'm enrolling in this 27. So Shivam, I will be very clear, and this is publicly. This course is completely enough. It is something which is very detailed. By the end of the course, some of the sessions will be like, okay, really nice and brain cracking. two hours of session, I say sometimes it goes to 2.5 hours. We do a lot of extra things for the students. It is more than enough. Yes, in the past I have done some mini course, like for example, we dedicate 2 sessions on futures and options already. But if somebody wanted to do something in details and options, last year we had a course on options, which was a small 5 session course just focusing on options. But it is not something which was compulsory for anyone. Say for example, I did this once on Elliott wave theory, and I did not do it publicly. I did it just with my old students, whoever was interested, just focusing on Elliott wave theory. So as a part of 15 session course, what I personally say is completely holistic. And if there are anything other than this which I have done, it is of this nature. It is not of a nature that you pay more and you get something more, something like that. It's not like that. You get this and you ask thousands of questions, even months and months after the course, you will be entertained. You will grow. There are students right now in this particular web session with me who can see us, who are here only because they believe in something. And many of them have really made a merry in this shorting in this last 2 days of market. So you be rest assured, it's not about it's all about the outcome of the students. That is the first priority, and that is how it has been designed. And I also must say that about 90% of the students really do well. It is not so when it comes to the workshops which are in cities. Sometimes I'm called. That time the ratio goes down, but the success ratio in this course is very high because the course tends to attract your crowd and your classmates who are really dedicating their time for those 15 sessions. So there is a level of commitment, and I don't really believe in the fact that we should really look for any kind of shortcuts, etc. So we dig in details, we go deep, we take examples from all different phases of the market, not limiting ourselves to just this phase. It is about training your mind. There are some things in life where you really need that training. Just education is not enough. That training, it needs that kind of guidance. This is what I stand for. I stand for the in-depth analysis where people ask, what is the false breakout? I stand where there's a chance of the false breakout being, you can identify that before, that this is not something very strong. So these are the points which are very crucial to the course. These are the nitty-gritties which you will not get on Google search or YouTube search. This is what I can say about the course. And yes, as far as the markets are concerned, all the time the markets will be there. If you really want to do something with your analysis, if you really want to do something on your own feet, believe me, you are not going to make a lot of money trying to follow or copy other people's trades. This I'm saying for everyone. This is not the confident way. The confident way is to first understand markets and mechanism yourself, do whatever is needed. And I'm looking for A players. I'm not looking for average players. I'm not looking for people who, there are people who are superbly educated who are my students. And they have the humility to engross themselves in the analysis, not thinking that I'm from this institute or this college and I'm so very well versed with my software engineering or some sort of a high fly education. They are really humble and engrossed. They have a habit for excellence. So this course attracts people who have the habit for excellence. It may not be completely educational on the perspective, it could be business excellence. People who have really shown some excellence. And what in the end is the measure of your success? Can you tell me what in the end is the measure of your success? The measure of your success is only the character you have built. If you say the things, do the things, and apply your mind, if all that is congruent, then you have some character. If you display that character, you can be excellent in anything you do. This is the entire core, what I'm talking about. Like for example, when we always see this, the live sessions, whenever there are bear markets in the recent past, There are not many people present in the live sessions. When there are bull markets, comparatively many people are present in the live sessions. People are not getting over this basic mentality that markets is not a place for bargains. Because something has gone down, it is not a bargain that it will go up. It is a place where you need to follow the trend. And there are a lot of cues that can make you money, give you correct kind of signals in advance. It is not a place to play easy, just tapping on the phone screen and buying and selling. That is not how trading is done. It is a conscious decision making process. This decision making process, again, if you go to the previous YouTube video on the 22nd of April, I took an Excel sheet and I showed the entire decision making process. So this decision making process happens through different variables. And once these different variables come together, your job is to just keep a lookout for excellent trades like that. Money is going to be incidental, and only I'm telling you after a point of time, it will be not your focus. If your money is the focus, then believe me, you will not be able to start your journey very well in trading. Most people in the first section I asked them, why do you trade? Most of the answers are around financial independence and money. That is not, if you are, that is the end product. That is not the why you trade factor. Money is the end product. The why you trade factor should be something else. And if you want to discover that something else, where you are doing things not from a place of greed, not from a place of need or desperation, where you're doing things from a place of pure passion and love for doing what you're doing. If you want to discover that, then this course is for you. It's entire, it's like a thesis because it's very detailed. It's very well structured because even someone who doesn't know anything about technical analysis can join this course. And most importantly, what we show on Telegram, me and my team, what we show on Telegram is just a quality demonstration. Right now I'm talking to you. Obviously, I want to be not overworked. I do not want to, with the markets going on, have 10 other things to do. Okay, I want to be clear and conscious in my decision making. So obviously there will be limitations. Every 10 seconds posting a message, I think that would be sheer stupidity also. So this is the kind of quality, because ultimately you need to focus on the quality of trading, and you also need to focus on the fact that what is the quality of your life. If you're trading and suppose you have a full load of anxiety behind you, it's not going to work out, right? Sanjay G is asking a question, Mr. Sanjay. Uh, During your try, will you share strategies to share software to support regards? Okay. So, Mr. Sanjay, there are all the things which I'm talking about as the concepts of learning price mechanism. That is all basically, those are strategies to trade only, right? Now, if I take an entire trading setup, there are going to be, for example, four things in that point where the four concepts apply in that strategy. So when I'm teaching you each concept at a time, if you mingle the concept when they are available in the market, it becomes a trading strategy. Number one. Number two, if you think there's going to be a trading strategy like, if this moving average does this, buy above this. If this moving average does that, buy, sell below this. All these things are far from reality. Even indicators, when we dedicate time and a lot of energy to indicators. We do it in a very creative way. We take a number of indicators in the course, and it will all be shared to you with my team in details. So in that, it is not a rule-based thing that, okay, this is the 50 moving average, something goes above this, you buy, this something goes below this, you sell. It's not like that. So that, if you are meaning by strategy those kind of shortcuts, no. Very detailed analysis and a lot of examples of trade setups of the strategy is the way I teach it, yes. Software, as far as concerned, the software you see right now in front of you, I will get all the students in the course a free trial of that software, and all the support needed. It's a 1 month trial I will get. It is not compulsory for you to buy the software platforms which are also reliable, those suggestions will be given in the first day itself. So you don't have to worry about those things are obviously taken care of since we are discussing this topic in such details, right? Getting fooled every day. Hello. Yeah, sorry, there was some audio issue. Yeah. Seats are getting full every day. On the 27th of May, we are starting. If you really want to go and, you know, check out my past YouTube videos, go ahead and do so. Okay. We might start not on 27th May, sorry. We are starting on the 1st of June. 1st of June, we are starting. Sorry. Yeah. So it's a Saturday morning classes from 9 to 11. And the batch sessions, the recording will be available for some time. That is about a week. So nothing is to be worried about. It's very well structured. Right. Okay, I'm getting talk specific questions. Can you discuss the chart? Voltas is something again one of the stocks I've. You can see how many times it has been taking support, but it is not moving significantly below it. Once it starts moving, once it starts moving significantly below it, which happened to happen today, although I shared this analysis 3-4 days back. When the move happened, it happened with something we call the breakout gap, which is the closing price of yesterday and the opening of today. There's a gap between that, and immediately after that breakout, there has been this entire blow of selling which happened on Voltas. So short-term trade out there. The price has been resting on that 600 support zone for quite some time. And if I must tell you, there will be times where there are unstructured one-sided movements and there are deeper connections from that. So this entire thing which is happening over here is a consolidation. And we call it how we can understand the momentum which is going to come suddenly or the volatility which is going to suddenly, that you will have to come to the course and understand. But yes, there are ways to trade the broader trend, the bigger moves, the smaller corrections and the smaller pullbacks. All said and done, it is extremely important for you to understand that you're not going to be trading every wrinkle of the market. That is not our purpose. Our purpose is to stick to the trend, to identify the powerful trades, to have a quality of life and lifestyle while you are having your trading career. Because without a quality of life, you can do what you want. There is no point if you have to have so much anxiety. A lot of people come with a lot of baggages in trading. You have to neutralize those baggages. You have to neutralize your past behavioral patterns of trading. You have to have a fresh start. Look at it in a very fresh manner. Let go of something which you could have or should have done in the past. Because that's a continuous process of a professional trader. Professional trader is very, very game in neutralizing his behavioral repercussions after trades, etc. Are you all with me on this? Any questions in particular other than what discussed? Okay, so let me discuss Mindtree and SBI. So Mindtree, although I've not been tracking recently, it's quite a noisy chart, but I will take up Mindtree. A very interesting thing which happened with this thing. Okay, there's nothing, I have particularly no view on Mindtree, Miss Vibaji. Uh, Particularly nothing very special is a very flat chart. I don't have any such view. If I have to go to the weekly chart, I'm not finding any significant bear or bullishness because there's a well built up trend which has come. Now, is it going to make a new high immediately? I personally feel it is it's doubtful unless it shows me something which is a very strong pattern, which is a very strong pattern to sort of go and buy. Okay, so and SBI as far as that is concerned, okay, as far as SBI is concerned, then yes, there was something which is a very strong and clear break from this range. And again, this happened yesterday, and even though it has made a new high over here, okay, you have to consider what is the broader trend. You have to consider a lot of details before you jump in. Because yesterday I went long on SBI, it has come down. I said, why did you go long? I said, it's gone above this part of the range. I said, why did you not square your stop loss? He had no answer to that. Anyway, but SBI is something which I personally feel has shown some bearishness which could continue. As we see in the last few, I think, yeah, last 30 minutes or so, there has been more move extended over here. So that way, overall, Nifty, Bank Nifty, in the short term, I'm bearish on them. And when short term bearish markets happen, they have a nature of movement. You cannot just jump in anytime you want. You need to have a broader stop loss because the volatility of the downward markets is much more. You need to wait patiently because there could be phases where the market is contracting in volatility and then suddenly expanding. So as I was speaking, the markets had fell from a significant area. We are around 1418, I think, when we started this webinar, right? 1418, 1420, this area. Sorry, 11,418, 11,420, this area. And now we see much further lower lows happening. So it's a direct about 40, 80, 60, 70 point correction, deeper move we have seen. Right now, there's an update on my Telegram channel about the call I had shared on and this is all again I'm saying of educational purpose. This is not a paid service, but if you all follow me on Telegram who are watching this on YouTube, see this is again hit a new low. So we see the trend which is coming out from reliable spaces to follow through. Okay, I'm getting some more questions. It's now flooded with questions, so I'll just take up the first one question at a time. Your current software, Sanjay ji is asking, can you, someone came, okay, okay, oh, that's fine, yes, the current software, for 1 minute I had muted myself, Mr. Sanjay, that's not a big deal, okay, so, uh, about escorts, okay, I'll talk about escorts. Karthik AJ, what can we do as a trader to capitalize on the ongoing volatility in the market till election results come? Now the question is, Mr. Karthik, this is one thing I have not been able to wrap my head around. I went to a conference a few 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks back. From there till now, I every day get these questions asked 5 times. That what are going to be the ways to capitalize on the market before the elections? I mean, I really take it like any other day because there are 20 days or more than 20 days when I was first asked this question until the election. So you just take it like as a technical trader, you have to take it like any other day, understanding that there's a chance of high volatility or near the news days. So you just take a break until you don't see something very good. And believe me, there's nothing more to it. The triggers happen when they have to happen. So this is a very narrow question, and if you are on leverage, I would suggest you don't think in these ways. Because thinking in these ways, now if there's good monsoon about to come to India, can you say Nifty will be 50 points up or 80 points up or 300 points up? You cannot say that, right? So you have to think in ways where it justifies. You're saying, using the word capitalize. How do you justify your capital? By first doing something which is time tested, rather than expecting stories and magic. Now, a lot of people are asking me, and this stands for all of those people who are asking me how to place yourself before the elections. The answer is I don't know. I would trade it like any other day, and I'm trading like any other day, even before that. Yesterday morning, I had some cues that okay, I could go short in the second half. 3 days back, I had some cues I could go short. All were for different time frame. In the morning today, I went short additionally. So these are just not things which you have to think in a very story-like manner. So I'm sorry I can't answer that question in the same sense you're asking. Let's talk about escorts. Okay, so escorts is a very interesting chart. I really like the stocks movement from yesterday. This was again one of the very, you have to understand these. When you see a power play happening, okay, when you see movements like this happening, first of all, if you don't have the knowledge of technical analysis, most people try to get caught in the extreme. And because they have these associations with where they've gone short in a downward falling market or they've gone long in upward going market, they have these associations in their mind which doesn't make them trade confidently. As far as escorts is concerned, a very strong move had started 4 to 5 days back. And this is something which I'm going to show you on the daily chart right now and some logic behind it, right? Now, as I said, there will be times when there are not very structured move that keep happening and continuing, okay? And in this case, there's a distribution which happened over here. And when this distribution is taking so much time to actually show me the strong parts of the move, this is where it is happening. Now, this is happening and coming to a very important zone where the buyers gave the triggers last time. So the price will slow down a little bit, but the direction dominant to the downtrend, and even with the wider market, it is going as it is. Now, for further details on this, I would really have to go in very deep concepts. So that is why I'm not going to take it, but this is the basic idea with escorts, right? Even Bank Nifty along with Nifty as we speak of the bearishness has been showing us bearishness. And trading, for all you know, trading can be the most effortless thing that you will be doing if you have got the right strategy, the correct kind of confidence, and the correct kind of mindset. It could be the most effortless thing ever. Believe me when I say this. Okay, Vivaji is asking about HDFC Bank, and very much. I think Vivaji, you were the one who was talking about Kotak Bank last time when we were in the session. After that Kotak Bank, even I gave us a trade idea in Telegram 1 or 2 days later. So first of all, I would like to congratulate you on that trade, and I hope you have either booked profits or having the strategy correctly executed. As far as HDFC Bank is concerned, and like even Kotak Bank, we have seen some bullishness. I don't really have a very specific view on this because in the recent past, I want to track stocks because there is a broader market weakness. I want to track stocks which are showing much more weakness already. Okay, but since it's a very major heavyweight, I would have tracked it, but right now I'm not having any kind of clear view on this stock. So this is my particular view. In the recent past, I can talk about technical factors which happened. There were major breakout areas from this. So this was a trade trigger over here on the bullish end, but it was supported by other indicators also. But right now, I would not say that I have a view on this. Kotak Bank, let's talk about. This was one of the trades I've spoken about recently. Kotak Bank. Now, again, the PSU banks have been showing slightly more bullishness in the recent past. But you see, over here, when these breakouts were happening, again, the lower wick is so strong and it is hugging the life high area. So when these areas got broken, there was an extension towards that area. which is about towards 1440 zone. So this was again one of the things. So guys, any other questions or anything conceptual, anything psychological, anything about the course? Some people have started giving their numbers. If you like my team to get back to you, you can send your number and my team will get back to you. Um, that would be nice. And yes, if you're following the clarity about any kind of technical strategy, any kind of trading, be professional, think professionally. Or even if you are not professional from day one, it takes time. It takes time. You have to have that emotional intelligence, certain kind of poise and calmness with yourself. But don't waste your hard-earned money, right? Don't waste it. So, sitting in a nice place. Okay, so this is my residence. I'm sitting in my residence today, and this is I'm sitting on my desk in my residence today. And you see, I've got like dark windows over here, so the birds right outside they cannot see. That is why you see birds chirping all the time. So this happened recently even more because I don't know it's the weather or not, but these cuckoos and quails have started coming, and now even students are noticing this. So okay, I've got somebody's number right here. Yeah. Mr. Kar. So the course will be messaged to you on this thing. It is a very nice, quaint sound coming from outside. Thank you so much, everyone. I think this was a very calm and nice session. Again, I will repeat because the markets are down. Telling you all, because markets are down, you see the enthusiasm with the retail public just section so low. I don't know, understand why, because some of the bear markets are just mouth-watering times to make money, right? So I would just say, thank you for being here because this shows that despite you may or may not have been in the profit-making side of the bear market, but you have given that extra time. You have thought about your learning, and that is what counts. Thank you, Mr. P. Kumar. Thank you for all those thank you messages, everybody. Uh, I will take your leave now, and this video will be there on YouTube soon. Those who are on YouTube, join me on Telegram. Have fun, relax, chill out. You can comment your number, etc. My team can get back to you. Take care, everyone. Bye bye. Enjoy. Have fun, guys. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Karthik, everyone. Thank you.